The lighting is a bit off, so ish, yazin. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Hello, my sugar binger bingers. Welcome to my channel. So I've been going through some things and seeing a whole lot of posts of people talking about when they found out and realized that their friends absolutely hated them. And I'd read these things and I'd watch these videos and I think to myself, your feelings are valid, my babe. Valid. I feel you. Ngikhalakanye nawe. But baby, I've got stories for decades, okay? Decades. Angazi nanokuthi ngiqale ngaphi, and I think I'm gonna start nje le kude. From the beginning, from the very beginning, ngise ingane, ngise ufa Simba. Let's take it back to primary school. No, not even. Let's take it back to a crash. My bro. So I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, ukuthi, growing up, I had major skin issues, yabo? So I'd break out njengezinto eziningi ezahlukahlukene, kube irashi, kube utwayi, amathumba ekhanda, enyaweni, emzimbeni wonke, literally from head to toe. Yeah, izwa into engishoyo. So nje ngichlifika, bro, ilonda randomly, and I'd look at other people abanganalutho, bro, and I'd just be like, sihlala endaweni eyodwa, siphila impilo efanayo, sidla into eyodwa, silala endaweni eyodwa. Yindaba mina ngibe mabhadu yindaba mina ngibe maharaspense wena ube right. And not ukuthi bengihate, but I just wondered because bengiyingane nginga understand and I was super confused. So I'd wonder ukuthi what is it about me, mhlambe kunento ethize segazini or kunento ethize ngami attractor lezi londa nalobu bhadu nokuba maharaspense, yabo. I just really didn't get it, yabo. Until umuntu akhula ke realize ukuthi ubethakathwa emndenini nokwenza nakwezinye nje nakwamanye ama departments eminye imkhakha yempilo. Umuntu yo kuningi sengidlule kona. I've been through a lot. I've been through the most. Please come in and like the video so that all these other sugar binger bungers nabanye aba aspirayo ukungena la ekhaya bezobona ukuthi yazini sigada. So yeah, and I remember ngise crash ne. Obviously ngimabhadu nginelonda or nginababala because sekhona ilonda eyipholile. Zithi iphole ezinye kuqubuka ezinye, yabo. And ingane bro, zizongigcona bro, and zipointe out izinto ezithize ukuthi mina nami angiyinaki. And I think that's how a lot of people start having insecurities, because ezinye izinto when you feel like you're normal, you're just existing, uwena, you know, you're unique. This is what makes you you, yabo. This is what makes you, you know, uqobo lwakho, identity yakho eyenza ukuthi nje ube wena uhluke from abanye abantu. But abantu bayibuke bayigcone into bakucwase and kube into ukuthi oh, so wrong lento, this is weird, this is ugly, this is strange. Mina mengitshela ukuthi kunjena nje siyahluka, you know, we're different as human beings, as individuals, wonke umuntu unique, you know. And I'd embrace that because nami I'd see things ngabanye abantu and I'd be like, oh, umi ngendlela ethe ukuhluka kunale engijwayele noma le mina engimi ngayo noma normal and common kumina, but that's what makes her her, or that's what makes him him, and it's cool, yabo. Ngabona ukuthi konke wrong ngalokho. But then I realized ngokukhula ukuthi nje other human beings look at other human beings and they point out certain things about them and they're like, lokhu kumbi, lokhu kuhle, lokhu akusile, umumbi, uyanyanyisa, ew, don't touch me, yini lena. It's just strange things, very strange things. And I've never been that type of person, but also ngikhuliswe umuntu uvela onenhliziyo emsulwa, osweet, obona wonke umuntu emuhle, ngisho abantu abambi ababone bebahle, abancome, abathande nje, you know. And so ngikhule naleyo nto and ngincelile kuyena. Not only that, but it's innate, yinto nje ebimina selokhu kwathi inhlo. So I didn't understand it when it was done to me, because I was always good and kind to other people, and I always understood ukuthi siyahluka singabantu and sinezici nama characters nama traits nama features ahlukahlukene, and that's cool, you know. And I accepted it as, you know, into your life. But like ingane bezingigcona bro, and like people would be in my squad, in my crew, and uthola ukuthi mina, once I make a friend, once umnganam, if I deem you umnganam, trust and believe ususiswam. You're my sister, you're my brother, your family. I do not just call anybody umganam, you know? So people would be in my squad, in my crew, my team, bro, and they'd say the most foul things. They'd be so vile. Bangitone, bahleke, bathi kunjani makunjena, yini lena, hawu sekuqobo ukuthi, ew. And I'd just be like, now unezinto zakho nje, now unezici zakho. Like, you have things about you that I look at and I'm just like, oh, shame. Or hopefully umngani uzoba right, but I don't make you feel some type of way. So why are you so comfortable making me feel some type of way ngokuexista nokudlula ebunzimeni mina engidlula kubona? Yabona into engishoyo? So nje kwaqala lapha ebuncaneni, and I realized ukuthi yikes, ngihlukile ngeindlela eziningi. Most of them zinhle because bengihlakaniphile, like top of my class. If you know, you know. Ngaso sonke isikhathi ngihlezi ngigqama, monitor, prefect, whatever it is, ekufanele kube ngibe ingxenye yayo erokhayo, ngilapho. Kuyaculwa, kuyadanswa, kuyapresentwa, kuyathandazwa, deliver my speech, ngiphambili, khethwa mina and vele nami anginamahloni, yabo? With all lama badu, all my scars, all my flaws, etc., etc. Flow, and I think that's what got me through so many difficult times, so many adversities and challenges, because surely there's something wrong with me, because yonkindao sukele kaya to eskoleni to any kind of relationship that I pursue nabantu kuba khona something nje that's really painful ezokwenzeka, and yenziwe lo muntu kumina, and uthola ukuthi it's unwarranted. I do not deserve that because ngiright kulo muntu, ngisweet kuyena. I console them, I comfort them whenever they're going through a tough time, and if they're looking fly and they're doing good, I'm just like, yes, do your thing, baby. I'm rooting for you. I'm your number one fan. I'm your biggest cheerleader. Go, go, go. Yeah, but I'm thinking, so I never understood why people treated me the way they treated me, but like they really did. And also, ngakhula ngarealize ngathi ingane eningi mean. Children tend to be mean, but also because thina sikhulele lokishini, and if you're from the hood, you know. Kuyaxotshwana, kuyajovwana, kuyaxonwana, and that's like normal, even though it shouldn't be normalized because it's not okay. Like, uticilela phansi isithunzi somunye umuntu, you're messing with your self-esteem, umenza ukuthi ayiquestione ubuyena, ubuhle bakhe, ukuma kwakhe, ama-capabilities akhe, potential yakhe. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. And when you point it out, people are just like, oh, it's just banter. Don't be so sensitive. Yadala. But no, it's not okay. Like, spread love. Be positive, you know, especially towards people who are good people and who are all about just having fun, spreading positivity, laughing. So I don't get people who are mean to people like that and who try to humble them and bring them down or point out certain things about them that make them feel uncomfortable or insecure or make them question ubona. You get me? But yeah, I understood. Children are mean. They come from families that are troubled, dysfunctional, and some of them have really problematic parents and relatives, and they teach them it's normal to treat other human beings like they're garbage. Yabo? And mina, I didn't come from umzali or abazali bami in particular, because other people in my family had influences nama impact in negative kakhulu, but I focused on laba bangilethe emhlabeni, and they taught me so many great things life ngami nokuphatha abanye abantu, you know. But yeah, and I had to understand ukuthi people are struggling, people have their own insecurities, they come from crappy backgrounds, and bakhipha zonke lezo zinto kuwena, yabo. So baxolele udlulise, and hopefully as they grow older they'll realize ukuthi this is unnecessary, or behavior yabo was unnecessary, and they'll grow from it and learn from it, and they'll do better. And I truly do believe that if you know better, you do better. But I've also realized that a lot of people just are stuck ebunganeni. A lot of people are stuck ebunganeni. A lot of people are still ingane ngane zase primary, zase high school, zase basi. Sibona even with the way that abantu abadala emsebenzini bully us and get intimidated. Mekukhona omunye umuntu omusha osemncane, fresh blood with new ideas, umroko, you know, nje engene office or emsebenzini, and they get super intimidated and they start being so crappy towards you, bakuhlukumeze, I've got stories for decades about that as well, but I just want to focus on abangani for now. So yeah, I went through that with like my crew, Gani in preschool, Kreshi, and they would just honor me, bro, and they'd point out things that would make me feel like, this is not okay. This doesn't feel right, especially because you're my brother, you're my sister, you're my friend, you're my bestie. So why would you want to hurt me like this, especially when I'm not hurting you? And I'd never do something like this to you, especially because I know your flaws as well. I see them all the time, but I never point them out to make you feel some type of way. I see Kulek, right? City Primary School. There are so many stories I could share ngama friends I say primary, but I just want to focus on this particular one because she was my bestie, and if you know, you know. That was my sister, that was my twin. We even kind of looked alike, walked alike, sipichoza mesihamba siziqhenya, and naturally I ngoba sasifosi walk like my mom. Till this day, my mom looks at me when I walk and she laughs and she's like, "Mtanami, I will be Josie, I will be Josie." God, that's just how I walk, and I got it from my daddy. Swagnificent Nick. Okay, he's been like that. Like, oh, okay. Oh, I miss my dad. Behamba namakwekwa ke bru bengathi unyathela amaqanda eroke nje ubaba bro. So I got that from him. But obviously ngihambiso kwentombazane mina, ngihambiso kwendoda njengaye. So yeah, ngiphijoze mfethu naye aphijoze ugelo. Yo, sengicishe ngasho igama lakhe. Oh my god, let's name her Tinkerbell. You know why? Because igama lakhe linobu fairy tale nyana senyazi. Anyway, let's name her Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was my sis, my twin. CJ. But it's tupazikwain. Hey, go say I'm going to see. But yeah, 2 peas in a pod, okay? And Sahlangana in grade 3, got through a friend. We met through a friend. Shout out to my friend Umoira Upilile. I love you. My forever friend. That friend right there. Genuine. Listen, I miss you, girl. I hope all is well. So anyway, sahlangana noPhilile. They were friends noPhilile in grade 3, but mina ngangamazi kahle until we went to the same class. Grade 4. I don't want to share too much info because nizohlanganisa 3 no 5 no 8 no, you know, Auntie, that's not the point. Whenever I do my story times or whenever I share my experiences, the aim is never to expose people or to hurt people or to inflict any sort of pain, trauma. No, I'm sharing my experiences, and if you feel whatever I said is bad and I'm painting you in a bad light, understand, had you treated me better, then I wouldn't have anything to say. I wouldn't have a negative experience to share. And also, you guys should be very grateful, very, very thankful that I do not mention your names, because if I actually wanted to expose you, burn bridges, ngenze lento enayenza kumina nangilimaza nangiqetula umoya, I would mention your names. Ngithi qho ney'thombe zenu. I really would. I really could. I really should. But I don't. Because inhloso is not to fight. Inhloso is not to harm, hurt, inflict nje anything embi, but it's to share. Isn't this engilekzona? And also ukufundisa abanye abantu, because I know ukuthi there are other women, other people even, not just women, other people going through izinto that I've gone through and that I'm currently going through, and abanye bakazalwa ngisho ukuzalwa, so they're gonna look at my, you know, watch my videos and look at all of this and be like, yes sis, angingedwa. And it's not okay. I hate when people say, ay aqali ngawe futhi akugcini ngawe ziyenzeka lezi zinto. No, it's not okay. Uthi aqali ngawe nakugcini ngawe, like fanele ngabe kugcina ngami. Actually angifisa abantu badlule kulezi zinto lezi mina ngidlule kuzona, but I'm hoping ukuthi they'll be able to handle them better than I did, and I'm hoping ukuthi they'll be able ukuthi bayigweme the minute they see them coming. Babe no ukuthi I see this, I know what this is, I see what's about to happen, and ngizoyigwema. You know, I don't deserve it, so I'm not gonna let it happen to me. So anyway, Tinkerbell, who was my bestie and obviously who became my sister, because if you're my friend, you're my sister, you're my brother. Well, Tinkerbell, basically similar in so many ways, but we were also very different because we were raised by parents who, our parents are very different. Like my mom and dad, have always been super chilled, super cool, and I've always had freedom, and I think that's why isn't eningi engasile zingenzekanga kumina ngenxa yami, because ingqondo yami ayivulekile, ngine freedom yokuthi ngikwazi ukugrova, angikwazi ukwenza ukuthi ngikwazi ukuphuma, ngangavalelwa ngabe nginamanga kuhlaza cwe. And those who know kunini sichiphira sichacha umbego. Listen, ngangavalelwa ngangingathethiswa lento, my mom and dad abakaze bangibeka isandla soze, you know. But ngangazi right no wrong. They taught me ukuthi you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't say this, utrita kanje abantu, uztrita kanje wena, and whatever you do uzenzela wena. Don't think you're doing it for us, for the family, for isonto. You're doing it for yourself. Thina siyahamba la emhlabeni sokushiya, and kubalekile ukuthi ukwazi ukuyinakekela, uyibeke phambili, yabo. And yangena yahlala leyo nto. I didn't think of it as hey laba, hey, because you know sometimes abantu abadala will tell you ubude aphangwa ungajahi lento ijahile ayikho mnandi. In I remember my mom would say this all the time, missing zenzu sisi, and I'd look forward to like my 18th birthday, and she'd be like, yo ujahu 18 khona uzobe adult, and then what thandwa sami, enjoy ukuba ingane, because ubude aphangwa, ukuba umuntu omdala comes with so many responsibilities and challenges, and yangena yahlala ayingenanga la yaphuma ngale, yabo. So there are teachings angena ahlala kumina, and I knew ukuthi iba ingane, take pride in being a child and live like a child, and when it's time to act your age, make sure you act your age, ungayinxishi futhi, yabo. And uTinkerbell on the other hand, abazali bakhe were like super chilled, anything goes, yabo. Wenza noma yini, ugqoka noma yini nje, uya noma ikuphi noma inini noma uyingane bro. And uyacabanga sihlangana nalo muntu, we were both 9 years old, but already besigqoka ijistring namatong, yabo. Egqoka amatong namaji, mina nje ijistring yami yokuqala ngayigifto yena ngebirthday yami, and I was just like, we're not allowed to wear these things. Like we see them in movies and on TV, and like misi ibona, like abantu abadala are just like balana meh, because isn't thing afane siyibone, isn't thing afane siyigqoke, like, you know. But uTinkerbell, oh my gosh, I pray I don't end up saying amagama abantu because I'm live and I can't take it back. But yeah, uTinkerbell, egqoma jistringi, egqoma lingerie, like oh lacy bro nje, idwedwe, abe sexy. I wasn't just as I tell about Temptations, or Victoria's Secret, like isn't those all CC? I said, you know, getting their freak on. And minangazi lutho ngalezo zinto, and she was like, girl, let me put you on, siswami. Uqoka lokhu manje uyeke le ndaba yama full paint aneimbali no dolly, please. And wayikhuluma kanje. If you know, you know. She was like, ungalokothi ungihlaze, yeka indaba yama full paint, sigqoka ama G-string namatong like hi. Right? So she bought me a thong for my birthday, and I felt so good. I remember the very first time I put it on, I was like, Gazenga, sexy. It feels so good, and instantaneously you feel like umtomdala, bro. Like you feel so sexy, you feel all grown, you feel like yazin gatsinga. That doesn't listen in Jununyana and get to, but obviously I wouldn't do that because but I remember like the look on my mom's face, and she was just like, this does not feel right. And this was for my 10th birthday, yabo. And she was just like, this does not feel right, it doesn't look right. I get that she's allowed to do that, that's fine. I'm not gonna shame them, I ain't gonna hold them. But mina yamingane igqoka amaphenti, ama-full panty, aneimbali, nenkanyezi nonodoli. Hayi izinto zabantu abadala, because ingane, you get me? And I was just like, okay ma, and she was just like, give it back or lilahle, do whatever you need to do, but elanje ungaligqoki. And I was just like, okay, I got you. What do you mean? I hid it, obviously, because I was just like, oh, this thing makes me feel like I've got superpowers. So there's no way I'm going to throw it away, yabo? Whenever Jengiz is so I hid it, and impilo yakubek. Anywho, I was just giving you a background, and context yo, to Tinkerbell. Oh my goodness, I keep wanting to say her name. To Tinkerbell, so hi again. You know, grade 3, grade 4. Sen tell kula man primary akusafana nama grade 1s and 2s where usanu ngafuziti usatitiza nyana. So Boyfriends, come along. Oh my goodness, RIP to my very first BF. I'm not going to mention his name, but anywho, so that was my first BF, and ngamtholaga grade 3, right? So sakhuphuka sonke saga grade 4. Hayibo, uTinkerbell. Umnganami nangubhizi useyayihwaya. Usebhizi manje uyayisunduza, like rubbing shoulders with i-boyfriend yami. But i-boyfriend yami, J Choms, like wenzani, you know this. You're my sister, you're my bestie, like you're my twin. Why uyisondeza kwi-boyfriend yami, you know? And as much as sasiyingane and we weren't doing anything, obviously, so kwakubela uma-hugs nje nanisendelana iy'ncwadi, you'd giggle, akuthengele isweet plus my boyfie. Babemnandi kubo. So he'd buy me stuff. Yeah, ngithengele pie, my chips, your sweetie. Afike nezinye izinto from outside, like roses and stuff. He was super romantic. Afike nalezo zinto. So obviously the girlies would look at that, and I see that happening even now, like as nje abantu abadala ukuthi oh lesi spirit lesokubo Jezebel nokuba nomona asihambi asipheli Bruce khula nabo abantu, because you'd see even the way people look at you and treat you because of how your husband treats you. Ubone ukuthi bahala, they're jealous, they're envious, bayifuna leyo nto. And it's so strange because when you see that happening for another woman, knowing how difficult it is to find a good committed man, you'd expect ukuthi other women celebrate, bakujabulele, babe nokuthi yeah, we're rooting for you, ngathi ngalasta nibe happy, nathi one day sizoyithola lento, you're giving us hope. You get me? Kuphi khona bafuna lento onayo, and if wena uyishiya, they no longer want it because you're no longer there. So they're basically competing with you, and also they tend to think ukuthi what that person gives you, they're gonna give them. Kanti no, asfan. Asfanani, don't get it twisted, my loves. The things he does for me, because you're not me and you'll never be me. Yabo? So yeah, I kuhla mfethu with boyfriend yami uTinkerbell, and I was just like, this is strange, you know? Like this is strange. Even when you're a child, bro, you can tell when something is off. You can tell when something is wrong. And I was just like, hey, off lento, sharp, and saqala saqamana kanti sino ngizombiza ngobani? Let me call him Heaven. Ngoba kasekho sesezulwini. Sino Heaven brabe sizwana. We got along like a house on fire. Sizwana, even in Kuluma, the way we'd communicate, we shared the same values, principles, etc., etc. And then he started entertaining Tinkerbell, and I was like, dude, like ekhaya they always tell us, they've been teaching us, selokhu siyofa simba ukuthi yo abafana bayafana. Bonke bayafana, regardless of ukuthi bangakanani abakuphi. And I never wanted to believe that, but seeing a child, a 10-year-old child, falling for that Jezebel and like entertaining her, ebe azi kahle ukuthi umnganami lona, usiswami lona, ibesti yami, iwele lami leli. Why are you entertaining her? Sharp, we've established that yena Jezebel, we've established ukuthi une spiritus nomona esne envy in she's a bad person. So now wena uinhloboni, why am entertainer? Because fanele ngabe siyamhleba sobabili sithi buka lenja, buka lomgodo, ibuka lenyoka yenzani kusiswayo, simhleke ungamnaki, but wena ungenza inhlekisa, yabo, because you're weak, yabo. And me, Heaven and I would fight about that, and I would just be like, this is gross, bro. This is not normal. I know people try to normalize dishonesty, betrayal, cheating, and all of those things. Those things aren't normal, my bro. I will never accept that. So we fought over that a couple of times, and I gave him chances because I was like, wingane, and you're probably trying to figure out this dating thing now, and also mhlambu uyaheheka because muhle ufana nami, and nje ulethi element entsha in empilweni yakho, yabo. But like when it kept going on and on and on, and when it got to a point where Tinkerbell felt like she could brag and gloat about it, I was like, yuck, you guys deserve each other. You are garbage, you are dirty, you are nasty, you are grimy, and I don't want that in my life, okay? Listen to me, go the bold and the beautiful, go days of our lives. Oh, Brooke Bedlela, oh, Sisbabo, Nenganzaba, my daughter, and you just be like, yuck, that is disgusting. Thank God this is a TV show and this doesn't happen in real life until, baby, it happens to you in real life. And I was like, I want no parts, yabo. So yeah, ngahlukana no Heaven, right? And then I moved on to Who's next? Ooh, let's call him Strawberry, my colored boyfriend. I moved on to Strawberry, bro. Strawberry was amaze balls. The only thing that sucked about Strawberry was that he was a hot head. Like I said, he was colored, and I'm not generalizing. I'm not, I'm going to contribute to the stereotype. Ukuthi bonke banjalo, not all of them are hot-headed, but he was hot-headed, and I found that sexy. Because Dangerous. I liked Nje Danger, and knowing that my man would protect me, if push came to shove. Yabo? And push came to shove a lot in my life because I've always been, or people have always felt the need to compete with me. Yabo? So my Strawberry would always fight, like the other geese, the other boysons, toysons with the noisons would try to hit on me. He would fight them. He didn't care about anything. Now, bear in mind, he was quite a naughty boy. And he was smart. He was super smart. But he was quite naughty. He didn't mind getting into trouble as long as he knew that he was fighting for the right thing. You get me? Oh, Virago boy. Uti yo, impilo I hard. Truly. But I think impilo imnand. Iyabanama challenges are corner, but people just make it super hard. Oh, Virago boy also says facts. People don't grow up. It's so crazy. It is crazy. It is mind-blowing because you think, okay, lento zoyishiya ebuncaneni lo muntu akhula abone ukuthi ngiyabheda bro ngirongi ngilimaza abantu engafanele ngibalimaze, let me do better. They never do. Like, that is their character. And only now do I realize and stomach that, ukuthi kahle kahle, especially after the confrontations that I've had with my relatives. Oh, snap. When they responded to my retaliation, and disrespect that I got from them, they made it about them. And there was a lot of pushback, and it was a thing of, why would you put that on social media? Yo, but when you're disrespecting me, and when you're being shady and inconsiderate towards me, you do it on social media too. Why should I consider you? They never consider me. Yabo? And I realized ukuthi lento ubona omunye ngamele nje ukukuziba ke completely aphume nje kuwena completely because they know they've wronged you. So like kunalawo mahloni ukuthi how do I address this nakhona when we bump into each other, will it be awkward, what's going to happen? Othi ngivele ngiphume again. I mean I was told ukuthi I don't understand your feelings, so I'd rather distance myself from you. That time you're hurting me. You're hurting me, but you don't understand my feelings. I have the decency to tell you, yo, you're hurting me. I'd like for us to do better. I'd like for you to do better so that our relationship, and you should actually be grateful that I'm confronting you and I'm addressing things instead of just being like, hey, bye. I've got my own issues in I've got my own traumas, my own struggles. I have my own depressive phases, and sometimes I want to off myself. And I'm like, sometimes I want to off myself. I'm going through things too. I'm a grown up and life is challenging. So why are you making this about you? I'm telling you that you are traumatizing me. I'm telling you that you are hurting me. You are part of the issues that I have. You're part of the reason why I feel like offing myself. But you're telling me that you don't want to deal with my issues because you have your own. So you'd rather distance yourself from me because you don't understand my feelings. Are you insane? Yabo? So people do not grow when a Virago boy, like at all. I cut off people that are disrespectful, like it's no one's business. Hey, Mbetu, like I'm so happy for you. I truly am. I really wish I could do the same. Because I know a lot of people are still in my life, and some people stayed in my life longer than they should have because they thought we were good, because I struggled with that, and I suffered in silence, and I just kept quiet for peace sake. But like, whose peace was it really? Because I was dying inside, and I'm tired. I've gotten to that point now. I really have. I'm not in China, Virago. I'm not in China. I'm on vacation. Yeah. What's good, Jizo? What's good? Listen, Uncle Beg. So I moved on to Strawberry, ne? And whenever guys would hit on me, Strawberry would fight them, okay? And he was really good at fighting. He could throw hands, okay? So they knew not to mess with him. They knew not to mess with me. They knew not to mess with us. And that's the kind of companionship I have now. Nobody can touch me because my husband is just like, don't you dare. Angisab muntu, angisab lutho. This is my queen, iqanda lami leli, don't F with her, you know? And that's what I've always wanted, and I knew it existed. That's why I didn't just settle and accept ukuthi wonke umuntu and yonke indoda ibolile. They're going to tell you that because they want you to believe that, and it's something they tell themselves in order to console themselves for staying with unfaithful and crappy men. Anywho, so yeah. So once Limanyana Day, Genangu Tinkerbell pushing up on Strawberry. Strawberry said, I am not heaven, I am not any other gent you've come across. Wati uzumrapa umkaze umchame bese endlala ngozane enhle. No ways. Strawberry came to me. Where's Agminu baby? Wati, listen. This is not your friend. This is a snake. This girl does not like you. In fact, she hates you because I know what she did to you a couple of months ago when you were still with Heaven. We all saw it and we were just like, ew, that is so dirty. That is so grimy. How does a friend do that to another? Yabo? And now I'm in your life and now she's pushing up on me. Why doesn't she stay with Heaven and Abeno? Okay, I won. Ngitholile indoda kamnganami. Why esefuna mina? Uyambona ukuthi kahle kahle lo muntu uqhudelana nawe. Kahle kahle she's competing with you. She wants your life. She wants to be you. And I was like, baby, actually, yabo, ngavulenga mehlo. And unfortunately, we didn't work out no Strawberry because I was a prefect, dude. And I was a monitor and I was a class captain and I had all these responsibilities and this image and reputation to uphold. But Strawberry would fight all the time. And sometimes he wouldn't do his homework. And remember, I told you he was so bright. He was so smart. But like, he just didn't care, yabo. Bethanda ukudlala, bethanda mina. That's all he cared about, yabo. And that would get him into so much trouble. And sometimes I'd have to write his name in the black book. I'd have to write his name on the board. I'd have to snitch on him, and I didn't want to. I really didn't want to. So I can't keep being your mom. I can't keep bailing you out. You have to do better, especially because now I'm with a real okay, you know, so you need to tone it down a notch, you know. And he struggled, he really did, because he was a thug at heart, yabo. So I had to end it, yabo. But that was a good run. Shout out to Strawberry, you know who you are. Anywho, so then I moved on to please note ukuthi sise primary asenzi lutho ningaze nithi hayibo, so many bodies, no. So then I moved on to who was next? Ooh, Umagwekwe. Was it Umagwekwe? Yeah. I moved on to Umagwekwe. That was the last one. I moved on to Umagwekwe. Umagwekwe bewathanda amantombazane. He loved the girlies. He really, really loved the girlies. Yo, it's so hot. I'm sweating like a pig. Anyway, he loved the girlies, yabo. Oh, Umagwekwe was fine. Umagwekwe was fine. And then Umagwekwe siyarola, siyapusha, kumnandi, siyavibe. And wonke umuntu who's been in my life uyazi ukuthi siyavibe fethu kumnandi kuba sepilweni yami. And that's why when I cut people off, they're just like, is this really happening? And they act out, they act a fool, because you're never going to experience this vibe again, ever, yabo? Baningi abantu bakhona bayaroka, but abafani nami and abasimini, yabo? So sivibe noMagwekwe, and how? Nangu chomi. Mind you, when I virako boy, you cut people off the minute usensa, it disrespect instantaneously. Minage, I struggled with that. I'm still struggling, but I'm learning, yabo? I struggled with that for the longest time. So I kept people in my life, even though I'd see long gabi, this person is testing me, this person is competing with me, this person keeps comparing themselves to me, this person wants my life, this person wants to be me, this person hates me. I knew it. But I was like, surely khona goodness ekhona, because ngiyamthanda lo muntu. And I now realize ukuthi leyo nto ngiyifunde ekhaya, because ekhaya people would do the craziest things, the most outrageous things, the most unforgivable things, and life would just go on like nothing happened, and we'd be expected to just forgive them, move on, smile, laugh, love on them, and just like akaze kwenzeke lutho lapho umuntu ucishe wakubulala, lapho umuntu ukubetray in the craziest way, ulale nendoda yakho, whatever, you know, like wild stuff that makes you certain ukuthi lo muntu akangifuni kufanele asuke empilweni yami. No, thina ekhaya safundisa ukuthi uyaxola. Yabo? So I'd forgive amanyala, and I think a lot of people are so stunned now. The people that I recently cut off are so stunned and confused. Ukuthi, what happened? I thought we were good. I need to apologize, actually. I need to apologize. And that's why I said at some point I need to drag myself. I keep saying at some point I need to drag myself because, Shab, I didn't know better. But at the same time, it doesn't make it right. Uguti, I kept people in my life even though I felt like, and I held on to all that pain and I didn't express it. And sometimes I would, and I'd give them a chance to fix it, and they wouldn't, but I'd keep them in my life, and I wouldn't make it crystal clear that we're done. So a lot of people thought we were vibing, we were good, we were gonna be like this for life, and they didn't realize, Wuti, I had tapped out, or I was on the verge of tapping out. And when I did finally tap out, they were just like, out of nowhere. What happened? It's never out of nowhere. And if you're a grown-up and you're watching this, you know this. And if you've wronged me and you're watching this, you know it's never out of nowhere. Quite frankly, I shouldn't have forgiven you for the things you've done because they were unforgivable. The people that are still in my life who have wronged me, that like, and bashinja, you know, they took accountability, they apologized sincerely, and they changed their actions. And they, you know, they right their wrongs. Nina, on the other hand, on my Mumpinja tip. Anywho, so Tinkerbell pushes up on Makwekwe now. Yo, Makwekwe, like I told you, ladies, man, so kuya nagbanganzima. Like Heaven tried, hey? Heaven tried, and he was like, yo, like your girl is all up on me, bro. Like, this is tough. What do I do? Strawberry was like, nah, I don't F with you. This is gross. You are a pig. You are a snake. Don't do that to my girl. I love her. I like and also you're disgusting. Who does this to someone they love, yabo? But then, Uma Kwekwe, guys, Uma Kwekwe did not hesitate. He was just like, ngapha nangapha. Yena nje, he was just happy ukuthi ufunwa ngapha nangapha, uthandwa ngapha nangapha plus phethe iqubu. Yabo? Eziyabangani, eziyosisi, eziyamawele. Makwekwe started entertaining Tinkerbell, and I was just like, I was so disgusted, I was so disappointed, I was so devastated, and I realized ukuthi Tinkerbell never loved me. But guess what? Tinkerbell stayed. I dumped everybody, but Tinkerbell stayed in my life. Because this is what Tinkerbell stayed in my life up until grade 7, but things started getting rocky. I'd say in grade 6 when she met another friend who was a mean girl just like her. Because her surname kind of sounds like that. So Madumbe was a mean girl. Madumbe lo uyisdini yabo labantu laba abangana full stop, abangana time and place. Yena nomi nini nomi kuphi nomi ngasikhatsini nanoma ubani isicefe imingciza uyamemeza uyaxabalasa upetula imlenze nje noma yini nje ecikayo ubeyenza. And at first ngayibuza ngathi, Shab, I get that we're vibey, we're bubbly, we're vibrant and but like, why would Tinkerbell be attracted to Umadumbe, bro? Like, why gravitate towards Umadumbe? She's such a weird character, and people must do them, okay? I'm not judging, but I'm judging. People must do them and be who they are, but like, ew, legu tenami. And then when usiswame zokuletha lana space insami azgahle ukuthi angizwani nodoti nempaqo engapheli. Like, I'm just like, why would you do that? And we never clicked, Nomadumbe. Baby, let me tell you that Tinkerbell wangijigela. Tinkerbell turned on me. She was besties with Umadumbe now. Everything that we used to do together, she's now doing with Madumbe, bro. That was so gross. I was like, why would you do me like that? But Shab, I get that now. You're in a new relationship, a new friendship, and freshy, you're excited and you want to experience izinto nomuntu omusha. That's fine. But damn, why you gotta leave me out? Umadumbe, Virago boy, bro. Umadumbe. Yeah, bro. And I'm like, why would you leave me out? And she was deliberately, bro, deliberately leaving me out and making me feel some type of way. And I was like, yikes. Yabona masubona ukuthi uyaforce, like you're forcing matters and you're trying so hard to stay in this person's life. But akakufuni, bro, and akagcini ngokusho izinto that are shady. Ukukhombisa ngama actions. Their actions are just like, bro, get away from me. I've been trying to get away from you. Kunini ngithatha amadoda akho, kunini ngikureplace ngabanye abangane engazwani nabo abazokucika engazi kahle ukuthi personality yabo iyanyanyisa and izokucika. You know, because Guayana Tinkerbell didn't really like those girlies, but she knew ukuthi we would clash and it would make me uncomfortable. But I stayed in that space. I stayed in that relationship and in that friendship. And I remember this one time we had an altercation. Shout out to, I'm actually going to mention his name because he did something so amazing. And he was my good friend, Stuart Ricardo Goss. Angazi noma usayi goalkeeper eSwallowsini namanje, but ube goalkeeper Boleni at some point. That's my boy forever. Shout out to Stuart. This other time, Madumbe no Tinkerbell, bro, were just being a-holes. Gumina, they were just being so mean. And they were busy pointing out izinto, like, izici zami, like my flaws, and like, hayibo, hindabona mabale 20, bro. I'm like, bro, ngenze njani, angizenzi, niyazi ukuthi bengihlifike ilona wabe ngithathwe ekhaya, bra. Like, ngenze njani? And ngihlale elokishini ngiyeqa imeqo mengiphuma ekhaya esikoleni kunezinto nje kumahliphi, you know this, you know how we struggle in the hood, bro. And they were busy on my case, bro, on some, ew, look at that, buka le libala, buka lo zozo, buka le ntsompa, buka le papamuza, buka, bro. And I was just like, Tinkerbell, you're my friend. I get that Umadumbe is not my friend, but also we squad say too. So we're sisters. Tinkerbell, why would you allow this, yabo? And Tinkerbell was going in on some, because they had nothing else to point out. Because ngimuhle, ngimgahle, ngiyaroka, ngihlakaniphile, nginey'khundla, ngiyacula, ngiyadansa, ngiyapresenta, ngideliver ipitch, ngiyathandaza, ngikwenza konke fethu, konke. So the only thing ababe ngayipointa out, ngifuna ama-boyfriend laba abafuna ukungiphuca wona. And imino wadampayo kubi nanokuthi ibona bathe ngeke sengibona uTinkerbell or uMadumbe and ngiyamhalela ngimthanda ukudlula wena, cha imino othi nje ungenzela umbhedo fuseke ngiphume kubona, yabo. Nje ngiyaroka fethu, but manje kunalesi sica sodwa that engana control kusona, so babheke sona because they're just like, this is the one thing we can hold on to, and nje siyikhombe sithi nayo into ebhedayo ngawo. That time bona banezice ngakanani kodwa mina ngibenzi kanjalo. So they were busy doing that. And I remember Stuart was just like, ew, you guys are so gross. And he went in, nabo. Ninuga imlomo, bruh, baby. Stuart was like, ninuga imlomo nibambi. Inhliziyo zeni zimbi. Noma ngayijathi nibahle mhlambe ebusweni kodwa nje inhliziyo zeni zimbi zimnyama zibolile. How could you do this to your friend? Yini le nithi ngiyayibona uzanehle muhle kabi. Umi kahle. Azophela lamabala azoshabala azogcoba ibhayo oil abe right. Nina inhliziyo zeni zohlezi zimnyama zizimbi. Nani imphefumulo yeni yimbi njengani. Yinje lento eniyenzayo. Washo izici zabo ke engeke ngize ngiyimenshine mfethu noma sesibadala sebengekho empilweni yami ngeke ngiyimenshine because it's like izici zangempela that you get me. But I remember the one that stuck baze baba taken aback because they were busy besiphefumulela, and we were standing kulayini kuyi-assembly, yabo. So bebusy besiphefumulela bedelela, and uStuart was like, nina sibindi ninuka nemlomo kangaka njengoba ngathi nidla amaqaga nje ninuka iy'tamko ke emlomeni nideleliswe yini ngaka, yabo. So nje, and he went in Holmes because mina fethu bengisofty, like bengekho lula ukuthi ngifike to a point where I'm just like, F you, unoguti, because that's not me. Besides the fact that that's not how I was raised, it's just not me. And I don't feel the need to do that to other people, especially mengibathanda. Bengangenzanga lutho futhi, yabo. But laphana, it was warranted. I needed to go off on them. But the umganam was just like, I got this, baby girl, because I get Uguti, this is a sensitive issue for you, and they know this because they're your friends. So like, this is disgusting. I got you. So anyway, and then we moved to high school. Bahlukane kuMadumbe no Tinkerbell. Madumbe goes to another high school, and what's her face? Leanne. Hey, Tinkerbell, guys, why Jola no teach? Anyway, we moved to high school eyodwa. Angifuna ukuthi ngize ngilokhunji ngidivert bese ngiyakhohlwa. We moved to high school eyodwa no Tinkerbell, right? And vethu yabona lento ifana nama relationships wonke, especially romantic. Masuzamile wakugila umuntu, and you've tried every single thing to fix it and to make the relationship work, but you're the only one putting in the work, the time, the effort, it dies. It really does die because the other party is not interested. The other party does not value nor respect you the same way you respect them and value them, yabo. So nje bese ku ox, we couldn't pick up where we left off, even though la sashiya kona kwakumungu, yabo. But yeah, like it was just kwaba ox, but we'd bump into each other, we'd greet each other, kube nje, right? But nje, we were never friends after primary school because wayesengigile kakhulu and I had tried far too many times kungalungi, yabo. So I was just like, hey man, you know, I'm sweating. But skating ang mind mina lalela nina imanga zabangani inyoka isiphilisana nazo siphila nenyoka sama nenyoka inyoka ezibiza bafowethu kwayishola ulokhu njani ubalo pe Java. Anywho, so yeah angifike kulesi story ke Tinkerbell sisase primary school. Mind you, she's busy namadoda ufuna amadoda monke. But she's busy no Tisha. She was busy with the teacher. The teacher. And this man is old enough to be her grandpa. But she was busy no Tisha bekopana bro. Like, baby, I swear. Like my husband is just like he's clutching his pearls. I swear. Those who know bafethu. Esafunda sonke niyazi ngumangani. Amanga, I will tell you a joke, but Amanga never days. I would never. Anyway, up is in Otisha brew, and Tinkerbell wasn't the sharpest pencil in the pencil case or in the box, right? But she'd get marks a high because you know Utisha lona why you say kundleni ephakeme kwazi you know manipulate system alungisa izinto ayimise ngendlela afisa ukuthi zime ngayo for Tinkerbell so that he could get into, you know, her pants, her panties, or her panani. Anywho, so yeah, they were busy vibing no Tisha, but that is so mind-blowing to me. Like, I've always been so scared of abantu abadala. I've always respected my elders. I would never entertain umdala old enough to be umdala, old enough to be my dad, let alone old enough to be my grandpa. But yeah, she was busy with the teacher. Ahlale ngama break bro adle naye akasahlala nathi akasahlala nami bakopane bro like uthisha mkope, and we'd hear about it or uthola ingane meyibuya zibumpe into bona, like uthola ukuthi mhlambe khona ingane that are gonna go back into the classroom just before the bell rings, yabo bababone betatazela, and they'd always complain about a weird smell eklasini, and I'm just like benzani, ew, yeah, crazy stuff. So that would go down in primary. But also, oh hey guys, what's in with Tinkerbell before I move on to this other friend. So with Tinkerbell, what busy with Tisha until she's high school. High school life goes on. Grade 11. Tinkerbell falls pregnant, only to find ukuthi ukhulelelwe umalume we boyfriend yakhe. I don't think you heard me. She fell pregnant. In grade 11, she had a boyfriend, right? She fell pregnant. But the child did not belong to her boyfriend. The child was her boyfriend's uncle. Belonged to the boyfriend's uncle. Yes? The child belonged to her boyfriend's uncle. Yes, let me put it like that. Ngazing complicate. Tabanga. It was her boyfriend's uncle's child. So what we game we skaka elokshini eskoleni, everybody was just like my babo. But you know, like Tinkerbell was very, she had a resting biatch face. So kwangelulu ukuthi umphaphele umbuza izinto ezi deep and personal and dark njengaleziyana, kwangelulu ukuthi umjudge kalula like overtly, because she'd just be like in one, yabo, she was that type of girl. But yeah, wamitela umalume wendoda yakhe uTinkerbell sika grade 11. Kwanje yaya hayi iqhubeka impilo. Only to find ukuthi basabusy nolokhu nje nothisha lo wesamshiye primary. They were still busy with that teacher and pursue a relationship ke manje, now that she was just about to be of age, yabo. And then boyfriend obviously was disgusted by her, so he dumped her. Umalume was like, hey, akiritseni nane ke re ke a ja fela bye wamshiya nengane and uthisha lo wase primary ababe kopana naye eclassini kuze kunuka ikaka. My husband is dying. Uthisha loyo took her in, and she was fortunate enough ukuthi wamshada shame, but at first wamzalisa, no. So waqala wamithisa wamzalisa ingane yokuqala, and then I think wamshada and then weze yesibili, or wamzalisa zo2 and then wamithisa yesibili, I don't know. But yeah, the teacher took her in as well as Ivezandlebe lakhe, and then they had two children together and he married her. So yeah, guningi, and it keeps getting guningi. Yeah, there's a lot that's still going on in her life, but that's her life, yabo. Mina sengikhuluma ngezinto mina azenzile zangishaka nezang njengaba nokuthi kanti inhlobo yomuntu lona ingane njani lena, like ispirit sakhe sithini, you know, sithini ngalo muntu lona. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there because angifuna ukuma expose like maninga mahlazo akhe, and that's not the aim lana. Anywho, let's move on to our other friend. I don't want this live to be super long because I need to entertain my hubby, and I also want to go into the pool. Bugan say, check this out. Yeah, well, I want to swim. So yeah. Yo, this is a movie, Amaza, okay? Amaza, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, and I'm certain because this is a live, it's not like I've set up a camera and I'm actually shooting and I have notes or I'm thinking about int or while yabong kuluma or before I say it. I'm certain, in fact I know vele for a fact ukuthi I've left out a lot of things that Tinkerbell did. But I want us to move on to Petezi. Let's call her Petezi. Hey, Petezi. Hey. Yo, Petezi, we baby. Petezi lo wathi yindaba unozali sina 21. Sina 21 osuhlele nozali when we nyumba yini. Uphi manje. My husband just asked uphi manje. Petezi, bro. Petezi, what's happening here, baby? Here, mouth area. Ang nalus? Sure. Nyamelta. Gemelt? It's okay, it's hot, it's okay. Anywho, so Petezi, bro. Remember, in high school, life nje jikelele, I've noticed ukuthi gihlezi nginabangani about 2. So sibe ama 3 musketeers, yabo. Abanye kuba abangani bami sharp, sizwane, sibe tighty, but nje ukuthi iskwa sibe abathathu, yabo. So kusukela primary bekuyimina, Tinkerbell and Petezi, right? So Petezi, we weren't as tight as Tinkerbell and I were. Yo, I almost said her name. So Petezi kind of felt left out, I feel, but I tried, especially because we were from the same hood. I tried with all my might to include her, yabo. Even though, like, remember, Tinkerbell was a mean girl, so she'd always tried to make Petezi feel like an outsider. The very same way angenza mhla sekukhona umadumbe, yabo. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Mosquitoes, flies, insects, etc. I'm not insects nyanyisa, guys. Yo, kunini ngilunywa. But anywho, Petezi, my goodness, so much happened. But what I realized is that Petezi put out a hit on me. She put out a hit on me. Because Nsakumbula, it was great. I'm not mentioning grade because this went on for years throughout my primary school career. I think, like I said, Petezi probably felt left out, so she was like, this be, especially because we're from the same hood, we're supposed to unite. So there was a group of girls ababefunda at government, and labo gelo babehlala ngaka Petezi, yabo, and I didn't know them, bro, at all. I only realized when this one Slimanyana day, I was just like, who are you people and why do you keep harassing me? Ningfunani? And they were like, mina ngubanbani. Ngihlala ngakalo kunjani, ngakapetezi. And I was like, oh. But at the time, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I just went straight to Upetezi and I was like, bro, your girlies, your neighbors, your homegirls are harassing me. Every time Remember, umalume is the designated driver that we have that takes us to and from school. Yabo? So njalo when ngehla ekhaya, bro, and ngayehla ekhoneni, and I'd have to walk a bit in order for me to get home. Njalo mengehla taxini, those girlies are waiting for me, and it's like 12 girls, and all of them are high school girls, so they're older than me, and they're waiting for me. They're like, "Yona maseti, yona maset kuninti kulindile." I'm like, first of all, who are you? Nilazela pika malam ningazela ninglinde na nihlangana nami, and like, why are you even waiting for me? What are you saying? I'm like, what happened? They're like, "I was trailing when I'm like," and I just wouldn't entertain. So I was just like, first of all, abantang baz. Secondly, abantu abadala laba, abantu base high school, mina ngise primary, ngihlangana nabo. Shap bahala zikamalam, but like a lot of people do know my name, so bye. And I just keep walking away. And I think that pissed them off, because I just walk off while they're talking, beba makongo, beba mapuli, yabo, beba ikwaka. And I just walk off. And in Yapijoza, obviously. Yo, that would piss them off. They'd be like, "Yo, why are you shaking your booty? Who do you think you are? Ula upijoza lanu strela gabi, nendunen kolu in. And I was just like, yeah, ass fat. Yeah, I know. Like, you know? And I'd keep walking until ngifike ekhaya, yabo. And obviously, I wouldn't tell anyone about these things, because, ekaya, bro, you could report the craziest crime and no one would do anything about it. So it was just pointless. And I was just like, hey, I'll handle this. But I'll wear my big girl panties and I'll figure out surely once limanyana day it'll die down. They'll get tired because I'm not entertaining them. And this kept being a thing. Like, it went on for years, guys. When I tell you it went on for years, they would bully me. They'd wait for me. We stop sign every time. They'd be like, "Let's try it out. Hi, bro." And I'm like, but what happened? And this one time I got so sick of it. And I was just like, I need to figure out who these people are, what they want from me, and what it is that I did to them that makes them feel like, so I was like, no bani nina nginenzeni, and they're like, "Tina sosman ban basha magama abo bonke." Kahle I should expose them because bangjoyela gab. And one of them actually added me on Facebook, like sent me an invite on Facebook. Like, what? Why? Nja? Kha. Anyway, basha magama abo, and they're like, "When uyasjwayela wena, uyasitshela ubhetezi ukuthi wena uhlezi ukhuluma ngathi usihleba uthi thina sibambi simngabi." I'm like, angnazi. Like, inini nazi introduce kumina. I've never known you guys. Ngihleba kubhetezi kwenze njani ngani? Like, nifunde government, ngifunda la ngifunda khona. Ngihlangana up nani? Angina history nani? Angina present, and I saw this in the future. So, who are you? What is happening? I've never known you. I've never spoken about you. So I don't get what Betezi be saying. And they were like, "Betezi wasitshela ukuthi nje wena usifoni siyakunyanyisa sibambi uthi thina siyahlupheka sifunde esikoleni." I'm like, what? I've never been classist, mina. Angikaze, anginazi, angaze ngihlebe. That is not even my steez. That is not even my steez. That's why I come here, sing so share my story times, on some, yo, guys, bangikila igota elingaqaqeki ngaze ngapetu umoya, because things happen to me and I just keep quiet and feeling a phakathi. And at the time, I didn't have my husband to share with. I had people in my life, but like, I'd share things with them and they wouldn't help me with anything. So ngangifela ngaphakathi, so ngihleba ngabantu kwenze njani. Hello King Grayson, shout out to the USA. Yabo? And I was just like, what is going on? So I went back to school the next day and I was like, "Betezi, these girlies say wena. Ote, I've been gossiping about them and I'm a hater in ini. And I've been saying, ang basabi, I don't fear them and I want to put my hands on them because vele I can throw down." I'm like, what? Yeah, I can throw down, but like, why would I just instigate? Why would I just interfere with a group of strangers who are much older than me? Why would I do that to myself? Why would I self-sabotage like that? Yeah, boy? And Upetezi was like, "Nah, they're lying. They're lying. They're just making up excuses because they're bullying you. In bang Joella, why would they bring up my name? Nah, I never said anything." And I was like, "Oh, you put out a hit on me, bro." But I didn't say it to her. I just stomached that. And I kept it. And I kept her in my life. After that, hey guys, mind you, the only reason those girlies left me alone was because of my brother. Shout out to my brother, Umtunzi. Once limanyana day, bro, this started in Gisahlala Road 3, okay? Shout out players, Chesterville. Gisahlala Road 3. Bangijahe ngehla lapha engwenya road stopping. Bangijahe bafuna ukungishaya and I just walk away ngibaziba and I'd ignore them, yabo? Or I just run away because like it's a bunch of 12, 13 old ass girls trying to harass me and hit me and you know, so I'm just like, nah, I ain't got time for that. So mom and I moved to road 12, right? And they had the ball because they kept getting away with murder. So they had the balls to come to my home this time around. They came to my home, bavuli gates, bro, bagcwale gcekeni, all over my yard. We can have a baby. Aibo, King Grayson. King Grayson, darling. Listen, Tulani Makoba, hi. Yabo, beza bavuli gates bagcwala igceke. I was just like, what do you mean? Yabona mafaya. Shout out King Grayson. Aibo. And then my brother, oh, they were busy shouting, hey, what am I saying? Sanete, come outside. Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? And I'm like, what is going on, Lapo? I had just gotten home from school. I'm changing out of my uniform. I'm getting ready to cook. Jay, and my sister's in the house. My sister's just like, what is all that chaos and mayhem? Please check. I look outside the window and it's these girlies, 13 grown-ass girls after a high school kid. Bapete izikali, bro, induku, like imvubu, amanopkiri, like you name it. And I'm just like, nenduke na meva, bro, I'm a keni, I'm just like, and then, like, what is this? What is this? You'll realize, Uguti, yo, girls are very, very dangerous. Not all of them, but like, yo, girls are very, very dangerous. So I walk out of there because ngayithemba, guys, at the end of the day, ngintombi yakwethu, ngilokishi nami, ngabheka ukuthi wayithiking fancy face, sexy girly, ngilokishi. So I walk out of there and I'm just like, yin manje, nifunani ekhaya, because that pissed me off. The fact that they walked into my yard and they're screaming my name. What if my parents are there? What if my nieces and nephews are there? Like, who are you? Who do you think you are? So that pissed me off. And they were just like, hey, so I walk out of there and I'm like, yeah, here I am. Nfunan, what do you want? I'm here now. And they all stood there and I'm like, what is Trela Gabi? You think you're the prettiest girl in the world. You think you're the sexiest. Because our men are all after you. Our men want you. You think you're all that. And I was like, well, I am all that. I've never said that. That's what you think. And you're right. But like, why is it my issue that you feel insecure? Why is it my issue that your boyfriends want me? Why is it my issue that I'm pretty and I'm sexy and I'm smart and I go to a different school than Wena? Like, why is it my issue? Like, that's a you problem, you know? Their insecurities get manje, apuma. And it wasn't just a spare thing. I guess when after Uspe sent that hit out on me, they saw me and they're like, oh, she's a bad bitch too. Okay, we're gonna make her life a living hell. Yabo? And they were just so dedicated to making my life a living hell. And while they were busy telling me off, you think you're all that because you're pretty and you go to the school and you walk like that and all our men want you, wada wish. And I'm just like, bro, that is none of my business. That's a you thing. Do some self-introspection, figure out what it is about me that makes you so angry and how you can fix it and how you can heal from that, because that is not my problem. Bro. And it's not my fault ukuthi are weak. But I'm not blame. Anyway, my brother walks in. Tunzi walks in and he's like, yeah. You know? And they were like, but I don't think they realized that Tunzi was my brother. Or they knew, but they thought they could keep getting away with that ish because Mhlambe he's a boy and he wouldn't intervene, or because he was already in high school and he wouldn't be around ngalesikhathi bona sebesekhaya yabo, because ubebuya later and obviously he took transport, so he'd wait edrobheni abuye ntambama bona baphuma early bafunde lokishini, so kulula ukuthi baze kumina ingane ephume primary ngoba siphuma earlier than the ones in high school yabo. So my brother walked in and he was like, yeah, nenzani anazi ukuthi usisi wami lona ningijwayezwa yini indaba ningijwayela amasimba zonshana onke namadodeni. Yeah, and he was just like a maniac running around the yard and on some, yo, I need each and every one of you out of here. Make sure you never set foot here. Make sure you never look at my sister again. Don't even breathe in her direction. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Because when I put my hands on you, it's going to be a problem. And when I tell you, go call your brothers, your uncles, your fathers, and your boyfriends, it's going to be a problem. Because my brother came to the rescue. And I never saw those biatches again. Well, I did see them, but they respected me. They respected me. They knew not to play with me. And also, I remember this one time when I bumped into one of them, Siskuli Linji, like 5 years ago, and we went to the same party, and she was like, Brew, I have to commend you. You were a child. We were bullying the ish out of you, but you held your own. You were so strong. You would just be like, what's up? Nifunan, I'm here. What do you want to do? And I just think to myself, how is she so brave? How is she so confident? Like, if we were to actually hit her, what is she gonna do, yabo? And I was just like, I admire your spirit, your confidence, your bravado. Like, it was insane. And yeah, and I was like, I hear you, but don't ever think we're ever gonna rub shoulders again, because we're never gonna be around the same areas. And you're not my cup of tea. Just because now you're looking at umroko wami in a positive light and not as something that intimidates you and makes you question my capabilities and your potential. Don't make me think. Don't try to turn in narrative manje and try to make me think ukuthi you were rooting for me, because you were just as bad. And if you felt ukuthi naning wronga, you could have said, guys, let's stop what we're doing. Si wrong. So zongiphaphela manje sesibadala. Banga nodonga manje mina. Anyway, that was that. So yeah. I almost mentioned her name. Upetezi put out a hit on me because she felt uncomfortable, insecure, and she felt left out with relationship yami no Tinkerbell. But also, I realized Ugutu Upetezi has a lot of issues as well. And she didn't look at me as her friend or as her sister. She'd also look at things that would happen in my life and she'd be like, why you? Why not me? And I'm going to wrap it up now, and I'll do another story time when I get another opportunity, and I'll continue on. I'll make this like a my friends hated me or my friends hate me chronicles when I realized or when I found out that my friends hated me chronicles type of thing, so I can pick up where I leave off. But yeah, I noticed like I'd win like awards, or I'd get like positionalities, mentor, class captain, prefect, deputy head girl, because I ended up being the deputy head girl at our primary school. And I remember like shape shifting, when someone's face literally transforms into something completely different. You could see it in their eyes. Very unpleasant, very scary, very animalistic, very, out of this world type of vibes. Very gweegly, very witchcrafty, very dark. Yeah, and every time something good would happen to me, I'd see her face shift, yabo. And also, I remember when I got like mad awards at the end of the year in grade 7. My goodness. And it got to a point where like my teachers were like, don't sit down because the next one is for you, yabo. So I kept fetching awards. And people were cheering. And I remember looking at Tupetezi, and she was just disgusted. So the hate was deep, and I didn't even realize it until I reflected on our friendship and the things that happened. And because I just wanted to have friends. I just wanted to keep the peace, and I wanted to keep our friendship going. But also, the one thing, even though let me get to final straw actually. This other time, Cisna 21. So we went to different high schools, Sinopetezi, right? But we maintained our friendship. We kept it going. And I'd visit her a lot. I'd go to her place a lot. She wouldn't go to mine, which was quite crazy. I like you too, King. Very, very queenie when I'm a recluse. Very, very queenie. So yeah, so we went to different high schools. And we kept our friendship going. And I went to university. Oh, snap. Let me not skip. Let me not skip a step or anything for that matter. We went to different high schools. In grade 11, she also fell pregnant, just like, what's her face? Tinkerbell. So both my friends fell pregnant in grade 11. Wasala mina ngedwa. At that time, here I am, flourishing, academic colors, top of my class captain, mentor, prefect, like RCL president, yazin, you know? So all those things are happening, and I take it ngamehlo abo obumnyama no mona. They were looking at me on some, she thinks she out at. Anyway, so she fell pregnant, and I remember when we met up and she was pregnant, she was like, yo, Choms, I messed up. And I'm like, oh, Choms, I'm with you. I got you for life. You will get through this together. I'm sorry this happened to you. I know you should have and you could have been more responsible, but sekwenzekile, and I got you. Yabo? I brew. Our friendship continued. After high school, she had another baby, Batong. And then Choms, I'm like, okay, hey, it's the same guy, so I'll give it to you. I'll be like, at least umuntu oyedwa bethu, but bethu, like, you should have learned, especially because you were crying about how difficult, how challenging it was to have just one. Like, why would you fetch another one? Usazi nesimo. Yabo? She had another one. I was like, hey, bethu, mina, I'm dying with you. You know, I'm with you for life. And then she had a third one with a different guy. She broke up with the baby daddy of the first two. She had a third one with a new guy. And I was just like, okay, so this is the life that you've chosen. Shapu. Who am I to judge? This is the life that you've chosen. And if ungakwazi ukuyimela, bethu ungakwazi ukuyimela, because she started working right after matric, yabo? So I was like, as long as you can take care of your babies, hey man, who am I? And I don't want to come across as though I'm the judgmental friend that you can't go to, you can't, you know, turn to and gizenza ngono, even though, yeah, well, so I supported her. But what really broke my heart, what got me here, was when she said to me, we were 21, mind you, when she had her third child. And I'd come to visit her. I had come to visit her from Evasi, you know, it was during the holidays. I went to visit her and I'm like, Choms, you know, ngiphethe ingane, give me ingane, ngikusize whatever you need help with. Ngiphethe ingane, ngishijama nabukeni, ngiyadlala ney'ngane kumnandi kunjeyaya. My bro Choms says to me, we're 21, mind you, she says to me, wena kanti uzala nini? I'm like, what do you mean? Othi kanti wena uzala nini? Sesiney'ngane nothinka phela wena uzala nini? Uyindaba uyinyumba yini? Bro, first of all, we're 21. You shouldn't have a child. Wena self at 21. Mind you, you're not married. If you were 21 and married, by all means, you're not married. You have 3 children by 2 different baby daddies, and you're asking me if I'm infertile? You're asking me when I'm having a baby and we're 21? Why? Why would you want that for me, friend? When you've been expressing how difficult it is, when you've been asking me for money for your children, because sometimes you just couldn't. You couldn't make ends meet. You couldn't put food on the table for everybody, including yourself. And I would help out. So why would you want me to go through the same thing? Why would I bring a child into the world when I'm not married? First of all, I've never wanted that for myself. You chose that life. Now, why do you want me to end up like you? And I noticed with people like that, because every married woman and every woman in a happy, healthy relationship with like fathers who are present for their children has always told me, Brew, wait, there is no rush when it comes to having children. If jola, date, have fun, vet until you choose the right one for you. Once you get married, make sure you enjoy your husband. Make sure it's just you and him, travel the world, do whatever it is you want to do together, or even individually, because you still get individual time, even when you're with your husband. But once you have a child, it's no longer about you. It just flips the script and everything is about them. So enjoy being childless until you're like, okay, I've hit every milestone, every pinnacle. I've reached yonke into ebengifisa ukuyiricha. Ngiright, ngimnandi, ngiyayifuna ingane. Do it. Don't do it because of what your friends, your family, society says. Don't do it. There is no rush. There's no turning back. Sibadala sibangala. We want to give our babies back to God, but we can't because they're here. So make sure you are certain. Every married woman has told me that. Every woman who has fathers who are present for their children has told me that. Every happy woman, not miserable, not bitter, not regretful woman, every happy woman, genuinely happy woman has told me, wait it out and do it on your own terms, at your own pace. Ngesikhathi esifuna wena. You know? So I realized, like, those people who ask you, kanti uzala nini wena? Are like really, really bitter. And I've been seeing a lot of people actually confessing. Shout out to them for being so open and honest and transparent. A lot of mothers, a lot of parents, even guys have been expressing that they are tired. They wish they had prepared fully and properly for their children. They wish they didn't have them when they had them. They feel overwhelmed. They love them, but they're just like, yo, nah, I wish I had done things differently. And I appreciate that so much because it saves a lot of us and a lot of children from thinking ukuthi kuyifashion ukuvela umithe ungashadile, kuyifashion ukuvela umithe ungekho ready, kuyifashion ukuvela ube nezingane eziyinqwaba nje just hayibo kahleni guys. And I hate how they make it seem like awuna choice, it just happens to you. There's always a choice. Asenzanga ngamlingo bra. There are contraceptives. There are so many different methods of preventing such things from happening. There are so many different ways of discerning ukuthi, is this the right man or is this the right partner? Engifuna ukuthi ngibe nabo for the rest of my life, ngibe nezingane nabo, ngikhulise umndeni or healthy nabo. So I hate it when they try to make us feel crappy and guilty for doing things the right way and putting ourselves first in our lives and our careers and our wombs first and our futures first, etc., etc. Like, you had a choice. You made the wrong one. Suffer in silence. Like, stop trying to recruit us. We don't want to be you. If we wanted to be you, trust me, we could have done that. It's very easy to fall pregnant. It's very easy to have multiple babies by different fathers or different women. It's very easy. But we chose not to do it. So, angazi why nifuna ukuthi struggle njengani. And I'm talking to the bitter, miserable ones who try to recruit us. Ukuthi senze leyo nto. I'm not talking to the women abasixwayisayo. I'm not talking to the healthy, genuinely happy women who are just like, yo, I made a mistake, but my child isn't the mistake. My actions were. I love my children. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I wish I'd made a different decision, but it's cool. I just wish other women would learn from me and my mistakes. Yabo, labo I appreciate. Not lezi ndlavini, lemdlwembe. Esenza ukuthi sifile uncomfortable, isibuza imibuzo engasile. Like, if ngakubuza ukuthi wena ushadile ngani, kuzobe ngathi I'm being an a-hole. Kuzobe mina o wrong with acrimony. Awushadile ngani? Why unengane ungashadile? Why unengane ehlukile from obaba abahlukile or omama abahlukile? Yindaba ubuye ucele kumina imali kodwa unengane umuntu omdala wena. Angithi wena uyona inyumba. Yindaba ucela kumina imali mawuyazi into oyenza and uyijabulela uhappy. You get me? So a lot of people are, like, I say all this to say, a lot of people are miserable, a lot of people are bitter, and they want you to feel like them. They want you to go through the same struggles. Abadlula kuzona. Do not give in. Do things on your own terms. Enjoy your life, live your life, enjoy your relationship, enjoy your marriage. You are blessed if you're married, yes. And they try to minimize and diminish that and make it seem like it's not a big deal. It is. It doesn't happen for everyone. It's a huge blessing. Congratulations to you. Enjoy. And if it's not healthy, if you're not happy, walk away. Walk away, yeah. Walk away. Easier said than done, but it's possible. Walk away. You'll find someone else. Ungafani nabantu abanyisa umjolo baqhubeke bahlali kodwa bagxeka abantu okunzima kubona ukuthi ba walk away from imshado. Wena ukhuhla umjolo. Uyakunyisa umjolo but uhleli. Awuhambi ngani? Angithi it's easier for wena ukuthi uhambe ngoba ushadile. Hamba phela. Angithi isikhokho wena. You get me? So a lot of people project. Ngalalela abantu, phila impilo yakho. Wenze sure ukuthi you're happy in real life. And once you're not, move on to the next thing that'll make you happy. there's plenty of happiness to go around. Plenty of happiness to go around. Plenty of abantu, plenty of opportunities, plenty imsebenzi, kuningi, imali, positions. Ayikho into engekho. Just explore. Live your best life. Uroke man, yazini. So yeah, and I say all this to say, hey bafethu, we've been in relationships, in friendships with people who despised us. I could go on and on and on, but like I'm gonna bounce now. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll continue at some other point in time. But yeah, like those were my two girlies who introduced me to i-friendship. Mina ngilazi ngangisengithi nginabangani thina sama three musketeers, kanti angazi ukuthi banginyanya bangangibulala nokungibulala bafisa ukube yimina. Like ew, that is so strange. You're you have your own life, your own identity, your own personality, your own gifts, talents, blessings, bro. Like stay in your lane. Focus on your blessings. Like, why are you guys so weird? Yo, amankazana. Yay, 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 yay. I'll be back with another banger. Take care, my loves. I love you, love you, love you loads. Like jelly tots. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, Viraga boy. See you next time. And it'll be very, very soon because I'm enjoying these thingamajiggies. Our fun, I'ma sit downs. Yo, it takes so much time and preparation and thought and effort, and I actually enjoy this, and I love that you guys are interacting. Keep it up and bring all your charners here. Like, hi, yeah.